What's up? Welcome to the Unknown Unknowns podcast with yours truly, Shady Cartier. Man, I got some stuff to discuss with y'all today. I got my bro here, Mobius, my first co-pilot, first child, first everything out here, man. This, he been holding me down. We've been holding each other down. And so it feels only natural to have him here today discussing with me some very sensitive things. And so if you listen to the intro and you know what we're about, then you know I'm here to discuss everything black. And you know that's a lie. So, what's up? Say what's up to the people, bruh. Say what's up. Mobius.
I like co-pilot better than co-host. We're talking about this. This is going to be a bit more scripted than some of the other episodes, but we got some talking points that we want to get through, and thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yeah, buddy. So, I mean, it's real crazy what we about to get into today, but let's start real light. Light in many ways. Let's start with what's going on today in the news with your boy Trump and this COVID, this COVIDiana, this COVID situation.
You used to be able to turn on the TV and he would say something that would kind of stick for that week or that month, and then now it's every day, and now he's just doing something wild every hour, and you're just like,
Twitter.
Okay.
Shout out to Twitter.
Twitter, just what is he tweeting? The memes are there, everything's there. The country's on fire. We're still in the middle of a global health pandemic. None of this is light, but but it's something everybody can relate to, even though, like, American or not, black or not, it's something everyone can just turn on the TV and immediately understand that this immediately affects them too.
Most definitely.
So, light in that aspect, because after that it's just the rabbit hole of the black experience and
yeah,
such.
Buddy. I hope you here for it. So, I mean, one of the really wild things I feel like that's going on is, where I am currently, we on, phase 2 or something? I was over at a spot getting some food, and I was talking to the lady, the cashier, and she was telling me, we was talking about the food, and I was, just checking on it. You gotta check on what you eat. I'm all peeking inside the window, is it junk clean and everything? And the phone rang, and then I'm like, oh, okay, people calling, they calling their orders. Of course I said that after she got on the phone or whatever, but I asked her, and she like, no, they're inquiring about when the club's opening here. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, because all I heard her say was, this ain't Montgomery County. You know what I'm saying? This ain't, we ain't in phase 3. And so I thought that was absolutely crazy, because it seemed like that's all people are concerned with is getting outside, turning up, partying. I mean, I don't want to talk about what's going on at little Boosie house, but prime example, what's going on in Florida. Everybody at the beach, everybody just outside like it ain't nothing. Like, what do you just put a mask on and it's all good?
So people have been talking about, like, if you have the masks, if you've got the social distancing, then how come we can't go and do things? It's less deadly than, what is it, the flu? It's less deadly than this. Look, if the scientists are right, this doing everything we're doing is supposed to protect you, the people you love, and the people you don't know. If they're wrong, then this just inconvenienced the whole world, and we'll bounce back from it in the same way that we did after 9/11, in the same way that we did 100 years ago when something, which was probably deadlier than this.
Polio.
Yeah. 100 years ago when the same thing happened, and people did the same thing then, and it was protesting and getting upset because they wanted to go do baseball and stuff, and I get it.
I mean, there wasn't no mask back then, though.
Right. And I get it. We're coming off of a horrible year with the economy at a downturn, people dying, people you know or don't know dying.
Yeah.
And all you gotta, is it real? Does it matter? Look, China lied So the U.S. government. But what
All right,
about
Trump.
what about Italy? And they warned us 2 weeks before it got here in any measurable state. They warned us. We thought it was a joke. It was all good. Blah blah blah. And then we started sending them doctors, people who were tired, people who would volunteer. We started sending them people from all over the world started volunteering to go to Italy because they were dying. They have a very old population.
Yeah,
Japan has an old population, but they took it seriously. They saw what was going on in China, and they're not friends, and they were like, yeah, that's not going to happen here. South Korea and Japan Korea in general don't like each other. Same thing.
I saw something that said in New Zealand on day one, I think it was like February 18th or something, they was like, yeah, I think we heard it was going on. We locking this whole thing down. Can't nobody get in or get out. Like common sense stuff. And we were like, oh, we're still going to travel. And we're going to still have our airports open. No. And I'm like, listen, you should have been like, Americans, you better bring that ass here, boy. And if you don't, you short. And maybe I'm just a hater because I ain't traveling nowhere. But all I'm saying is if you got the bag and you talk about some, I'm globetrotting and I don't care about what's going on the globe while I'm trying, then...
Well, right now is the perfect time to travel because if you don't have any money, tickets is very cheap. They're just like, oh, we'll give you whatever you want. Just come on over and stuff.
Exactly.
But guess what?
People, come catch COVID, please.
Guess what? Please. Americans are banned in Europe, so your flight plans have been indefinitely canceled.
Ooh, luckily I'm trying to go to a place that's technically a part of the U.S.
What? Hawaii?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh man,
it is. It's luckily,
I can still go to Puerto Rico. I still feel like I went somewhere. I can still go.
I think Haiti's.
What? Guam is a U.S. territory.
Yes, it is. Not a state. Territory. I think. Was it Jamaica? They don't want us over there. They locked the island down.
They probably like
They did it earlier.
I definitely got the sauce. I mean, all islands should have been like, no, none of you traveling, foreign the whiteys.
Just go ahead and get back on that plane for me.
Like, nah, go ahead. Americans, go ahead and get back on that plane for me. Like, Floridians. Crazy. Please don't. Yeah, you already know the Floridians ASAP. I had somebody ask me, oh yeah, because we was trying to do we wanted to set up some cruises for everybody, but they not doing that. You can't go right now. I wanted to go for the summer. Like what?
Worse.
What are you talking about? It's July and you checking for cruises right now?
Everybody forgot what happened to Princess Cruises and several other ships.
Yo, in the beginning of this, like, did it really disappear out their mind,
people who weren't infected. That's the problem with this stuff is people who weren't infected on that cruise ship, when it got quarantined, they were there. They were stuck on that boat for several days. Yeah. It'd be different if they disembarked and then all went to a hotel and was like, you can't leave this hotel. That's at least a bigger space.
From the hotel, yeah.
That's at least a bigger space.
It still would have spread.
If people who aren't showing symptoms go this side, people who are go to that side. Cool. But being on a cruise, you can't walk 5 feet without having touched or breathed the same air as someone who definitely had it. And a lot of people who didn't have it got sick. It, yeah. And therefore...
By default.
Yeah. And...
Well, if that's the case, I mean, on some real crud, let's just put everybody on some ships. And even you got it or you got it. That's probably going to be Trump's next recommendation. Because remember, it's going to rinse over you. Remember, Mobius, it's going to rinse over you. You good. That's all I'm saying. Anyway,
about to eat some bleach as he recommended.
Oh my God.
This man.
I mean, listen. The trauma, the plight is real. Ninja's been drinking, eating, sleeping, washing in bleach for years. So that's what I told some people. They don't know. You better go ask your grandma or somebody like 50, 60 years old. They gonna be like, oh, when Trump said that, we was with it. We been doing that. Like, that ain't even
There's a distinction between watered down and just like chugging some bleach. I mean, but
and being sprayed in the face with Lysol.
Yeah.
Okay, traumatic childhood
to the same fact, kids was eating Tide Pods.
Oh,
okay. So
we're not doing that.
No,
we're not doing that.
But
you better watch your kids.
That's something else.
You need to watch your kids. They eating Tide Pods.
That is.
You need to
else.
Feed your kids too, because that's don't even look appetizing.
We ain't hungry no more.
So you're doing something wrong to your child if they think that that's a mealtime. But we not gonna get into that. Listen.
Epic mealtime.
Let's get on the script, bro.
Okay.
It's too much excitement. Okay, guys. Speaking of vacations, that's how I was supposed to go. Speaking of vacations, wow. So, went to the beach recently. Went to the beach. You going to the beach?
No.
Yeah.
Negative.
Yeah. You never really liked the beach. I always had to drag you to the beach. So we had a plan to go to one beach, and then my friend called. It was like, we're at this beach. And we were like, we're going to that beach too. And then, oh man, my ninja was like, you sure you want to go to that beach?
Oof.
And I'm like, what you mean? Just a little context. He a little special. He one of those travelers. That's what I'm gonna call him. He one of those travelers. He from the north and the south. So they be thinking that they know everything, right? But he just ain't got the same effect as I do. Like, it's just different. It's just different. When you grow up in different states, different neighborhoods, you feel different things. And so I grew up in a predominantly black area, school and everything. But I was around white people. So I was just like, I'm used to it. So I'm like, he's like, we going to the white spot. I'm like, oh, brother. Well, I mean, it's all good, And I know you don't feel no type of way about it. This is my Oreo right here, y'all. This the Oreos.
I do have a story, but I'm going to let you get into yours.
All right. So, so we end up going up to the white beach, you know what I'm saying? We go up there, we set up, we cooling, we chilling. Okay, next day, we gonna actually go to the beach early morning. This what I'm trying to do, y'all. I'm gonna keep it 100. It's legal out here, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to hit the sunrise blunt. It's gonna be real special. It's me and Bay, and the sunrise is 5, 6 a.m. It's barely coming over the horizon. Man, I'm telling you, we on the coast. We spent the night on the coast, so we 15, 20 minutes away from 5, 6 different beaches. What are you talking about? We right by the water. So we all right, we ain't looking for a beach where it's gonna be lifeguards and the whole boardwalk. Nah, we need a little secluded little spot. So we put it in there, boop, boop, boop. Okay, it's 15 minutes away. I could do that. That's lit. We pull up over there. I'm all right, we coming down this little sandy road. Oh, we getting close. Then all we see at the entrance of the beach is some trash cans. And I'm like, okay. Trash cans on the left, and on the right, it's a little house that look a little dilapidated. Okay, thanks. Okay. We got Dutch in the background. Anyway, it look a little crazy, somebody definitely not living there. So we okay. Look back over to the trash cans, okay. And the closer that we get to the trash cans, because it's a whole bunch of graffiti on there, so I don't know what it say. And I'm pulling up slow, I got the fresh whip. I ain't trying to mess it up, how ninjas be, And I see swastikas, bruh. Long story short, I see some swastikas. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't really see them, because I wasn't looking for swastikas. I'm it's all types of graffiti over here. This must be the right spot to smoke. That's just me on my bullshit. That's just me on my bullshit. The closer we get is bottles in the sand. You could just see the whole nine. The whole litiation. You could just see it. So we pull up right next to it or whatever, and that's why I'm able to see the very obvious, very big, several swastikas painted all over the trash can.
Painted, not carved.
Spray painted. Carved. I don't know. It was a lot going on. It was graffiti of all different types. But again, we was focusing on my bae was focusing on the swastikas. And I'm just like I said, I saw the gang stuff and I was just thinking, this must be the spot. This must be the spot. Like, we in the whole right spot right now. But that swastika shit, like, I don't even know how to deal with that. Like, I don't know. I never really experienced that. Like, I don't remember swastikas growing up. Come on.
That's a no-go. That's a no-go for me. Especially in an area that you might not be super familiar with. Especially if you'd been previously warned. You know, at least if you... I generally would feel comfortable in any area as long as I was armed. But the state we live in is not very friendly towards the Second Amendment, and several other states near us have mixed feelings. So getting a permit to then go travel with your arm to these states is easier said than done. It's probably possible, but with a lot of headache and money involved. So to go to a place, an isolated place, and then see a swastika is an immediate no-go, and you just turn around and go back to somewhere else. That we're black. It's every movie you've ever seen where you were just like, nah, y'all should have turned around. Nah. So
all right. If you say it like that, okay, sure. I don't know. I was just on my... Yeah, I know white people don't like me sometimes. But it's like 7 o'clock in the morning. Like, y'all really out here murdering Negroes? What's going on? I just thought I was going to hit a J and then kick rocks. Like,
when was this again?
This was a couple weeks ago. So we're still in July, the first weekend, maybe, or the last weekend of June.
Okay, so...
You know, this is very recent. I mean...
Wow, so,
I know. And during this climate, I know.
No, not even that. It's just like, so while that's happening, in the backdrop of the country is several lynchings, and then Floyd, and any number of incidents involving Karens doing Karens and then stuff. Wow. So, yeah, I would have saw that and said, alrighty then, let's go back over there.
I'm just a special kind of ninja. I mean, reverse Verlago. I don't know what to tell you. I was just like,
So here's mine.
That was tough.
There's probably more that I can't quite recall off the top of my head, but this one sticks out as it's probably the most recent. Went up to Delaware, and for work. I went up to Delaware for work to do something, and I was on a bus with a bunch of my other coworkers and stuff. It was a chartered bus. We pulled into a Royal Farm somewhere. We pulled into a gas station, and this is in the summer, it's last year or 2 years ago. We pulled into this gas station, got out, and was getting some food, getting ready to go to work in the morning, and 3 or 4 lifted pickup trucks with Confederate flags were there already, and they'd seen us, predominantly 90% black group of people, getting off the bus, and our uniforms all black, so we're black people wearing all black in this very flat, very generally white people area, and there's nothing there. It's a town strip. So we were near where we were going to. It's a busy area. But outside of that, there's nothing. And it's all flat. And it all looks pretty run down. And they saw us. And one of them just drove around and kind of stared us down a little bit. Not super aggressively. Just from the window, just looking at us real hard.
Hold on. If you looking at me through a window real hard, and I'm not on your property, bruh. Yeah.
That's not
hard.
an issue.
That's what, man.
Because it's like, because the shoe's on the other foot. It's like, I want to say a location, but I want to say
hello.
So, okay,
how about that? I want to say hello.
Wait. So do you know certain areas, like where certain areas in the city where white people generally don't live, and they've recently started to move there.
Yes.
And so they get off the train station.
Gentrification.
Yes. And then this was before it was that blatantly obvious. You know, so at 2 o'clock in the morning, you see white people walking their dogs in a very rough neighborhood, and you're just like, huh? I had one of those. I was like, huh? Do they know where they are? I don't feel safe around here.
I'm brown, and I'm from here, and I'm unsure. White lady walking her fucking
at
poodle
2 o'clock in the morning.
At 2 o'clock in the morning, like it's sweet out here, bruh.
So
like,
you can see that. I'm playing devil's advocate
sweet
here.
Out here.
But it was two guys in the truck, and they stared us down, and then a bunch of other trucks pulled up and was revving their engines, rolling coal, looking at us. One guy raised his fist out the window like that dude from The Simpsons. Like so then, you know, all the black people on the bus got off and was like, it is what it is. What you want? And I'm just like, this is Delaware, and their gun laws are a lot more lax than ours. They very might be armed.
But that still don't matter. Y'all was at a public place.
Of course. I mean, this is before.
It does, and it doesn't. Like, just the fact that it's like at a gas station.
Yes.
And it's a bus full of people.
Two buses
full of browns.
Yes.
And a few whites and tans. A few others. Like, come on, bruh. It was nothing they could do. That's why they was so heated, bruh. But at the same time, you said Delaware. And see, I don't know nothing about Delaware. Yep. I don't know. And so
I said it first.
Listen. If you want to say something, say something. We got a whole crowd back here. We got a
whole
crowd
and someone watching.
We are not here alone. We are live from Delaware Beach with the swastikas. We are fucking taking dumps on not being invited. No, but seriously, listen.
That is my most recent story.
Say whatever you wanted to say, because this is.
I'm just saying we was in Delaware.
Yeah.
We was in Delaware.
And experiences were in Delaware.
Oh, okay.
I
didn't know if that's what you guys were.
Pointing out.
Yes.
Okay.
Delaware, we were in Delaware.
We was in Delaware. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I know the beach I'm used to going growing up. It's all white people, and I was. It was not rare occasions where I was the only black person around.
If this is the same place we went together, then
I just don't like white people looking at me crazy. It's literally where we went to go camping, but it was an hour away at the beach. The campgrounds is something different.
This was nowhere near there then.
Where y'all was at?
Yeah, this was nowhere near that.
Y'all was just in Whitesville. I mean, or is Delaware Whitesville?
Pretty much.
I guess. And see, listen, I don't.
Little or no taxes, and it's a good place to retire. Yeah.
Somebody knows something, huh? Get your P's and Q's in order. Listen.
All right, what else we talking about?
Yeah, I can't. Karens? I think Karens is what we were.
The
Karens of the news. But I mean, I just want to say something on Bay's behalf. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very unfortunate, and this was the real deep part of it right here. The reason why I had you, my number one co-pilot, co-host in the world, on here, because you's the Oreo. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to give them a background, or you want me to summarize your background?
No, you good.
I mean, we was raised all over the city. We moved place to place, mostly predominantly black. But then we were separated. And so he was raised in a suburban community.
Still black.
With... a black suburban community where what's the ratio in your school? Black and white.
My high school was 95% black, 5% other, and we had some exchange students, but you could count the number of white people on your hand. And then it was like Spanish,
like in my school,
and Asian. Okay. So yeah.
So the difference was just it was the suburbs, and I was more like in the city. So in the same state, in the same county, but just two very different experiences. And then, like I already told you, I got my traveling bae. You know what I'm saying? He from the north. He from the south. And now we right here. You know what I'm saying? On the line, we by the water. Like it's just crazy to go to Delaware. And for me personally, because I was even surprised at your, at your remark and your response. Like, I mean, you thought about the whole thing, and I really didn't. I was just thinking, like, look, I'm, city life. I'm used to being places where they tell you they don't want you for real, and it's not even that. Really, it's just the mentality of you never gonna make me feel like I don't belong. And that's all I could really stand behind, because I've been in some iffy situations, but it was in Florida. That's the only time I experienced racism, was from a white person, was in Florida, and in 2 occasions in the same year, but it was in Florida. It wasn't up north. And so that it really kind of threw me off. Like, I really wasn't even, thinking about it in the way that I was thinking about it. And so for him to basically have to explain to me, like, you realize that at any moment 2 trucks full of white people can pull up and it's a wrap for us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I never lived like that. They always make us seem like we the bad guy and they scared and we're out to get them. But that's not the case.
You can forget about it, especially where we're from. You can forget about it a little bit because it's more north than, like West Virginia or somewhere, Tennessee or like Georgia. It's more north than that.
We don't like you. We don't like you. You're gonna know that we don't like you.
Yeah, that's just especially since we grew up in a predominantly black area. It's something. It's something that you can, because at the most you get the reflexes of either people just watching you because they think you're gonna steal something. Or
that was the Asian people did to me.
Or clutching of the purses or going across the streets.
Shout out to all Asians. I love y'all. Big love. Big love. Like, I mean, screw all the bullshit, but
it's something to my knowledge, I've been fortunate to not have really dealt with, but I'm also aware of it, and I try to make it easy, even if it's kind of self-racism, which is a thing. Where you're just like, oh, you see a black person and you reflexively walk across the street.
Oh, nah. You white for real.
No, I'm not saying I've done that. I'm saying other black people do that.
Hold on. I got something for you. Now, this is not at all what you're talking about, but this was flipping hilarious.
Okay.
So this is what this is what one of my best friend's favorite thing to do right now is during COVID, when we see white people without a mask, we put our mask up or we put our shirt up, or when we see white people, period, we just act super nervous, like we know they got COVID, and we were sitting in the car with the windows down, and white people was walking by, and he was like trying to make it super noticeable. And he was like putting his mask on to the white people, like trying to make eye contact with white people, and put his mask up.
6 feet, bro.
It
6
was
feet.
Flipping hilarious.
Too close.
And just to watch that, because it's like, wow, like that's how we've been portrayed in entertainment all of these years. Yep. Is that when a black person come around and it's a white lady with a purse, it's a white man with a briefcase, oh, we gonna rob you, so you better clench it, you better lock it up, you better look scared, like, come on, like, all of that is crazy. And y'all literally keeping us out of beaches, keeping us away from towns, keeping us out of stores, keeping us out of, what you said, out of gas stations. Like, you're just not allowed to be here. Like, what are you talking about? Making us feel unwanted, like we don't belong, like we're here to do something wrong. And it's, it's sick. This is the world that we fucking live in. The state, the current of affairs.
On that, before we go to the next thing,
Karen,
I had to take an Uber to work recently, and my driver was this nicer, older black lady. And she was telling me about this time she had taken some Russians from an airport to like some hotel somewhere.
I would have been scared.
And they were,
shout out to Russians.
They were super quiet, and then she said hello how are you in Russian, and that was like the extent of her knowledge. And then they warmed up to it right after that. The husband was still kind of just like, just kind of not
Is
really.
she an agent?
Nah, she just.
No, I know. I'm talking about the Russian was like, she's speaking Russian.
Comrade.
And she's brown.
Is this a test, comrade?
Right.
So, because it was a family, so they had kids, his mom and dad. Nuclear.
In Russian, he immediately asked her, "What are the numbers? What does it mean?"
So the wife had warmed up, and they just had a conversation. Like, do you speak Russian? It's like, no, that's pretty much all I know. And then they just hit it off after that.
English.
Yeah.
That's
and so for this probably hour car ride to their destination, they just went back and forth and had a good time, and the kids loved them, and she told her about the country, and then they gave her a tip, and then she left, and then somewhere down the lane, the Russian lady gave her email address and was like,
nice.
shoot me a message. I'm gonna give you something, and she gave her something, and then along with a letter that was like, the husband had wrote this letter, was like, I didn't say anything in the car the entire time because I was kind of puzzled, but we have zero experience with black people, and there's some in Russia, but we have absolutely zero, and the only knowledge we have is what we see on TV, and they're in a different country.
Yes.
But they still have the same thing, so yeah, they were kind of nervous at first, and they thought they were getting taken somewhere.
Damn! They was like, how we get the black
by
Uber
this old
driver,
black lady,
bruh?
older black lady.
We was about to get robbed. They saw the movie Taken and thought that she was the... Wait, was it Russians in the movie
No,
Taken?
this was this was some...
No,
I forgot
I'm trying to be funny.
Yeah.
I'm talking about in the movie Taken.
I'm
Who
hip,
took
yeah.
his daughter?
Chechenians.
Check. Shout out to the Czech Republic. Listen, all I'm saying,
different country.
like, I have no clue. All I'm saying is they thought Shawty was about to take them. They thought that this old black lady was like the most savage person ever,
Gotcha,
based on
Dave
TV
Chappelle.
movies and all of that. And then they was like, wow, this wasn't
nice.
violent at all.
This was a nice car ride here.
There was no crack sprinkling at all. Like, what's happening? Like,
All right. Yes,
That's
but
ridiculous.
that was nice.
That's lit. I like that.
All
Look
right.
at the mood.
Yes.
Look at the mood making a turn for the best.
It's back up. What are we
We're
getting
not
into now?
racist, guys. We're just black.
These are observations
Like, we're just
from black people.
I mean, that's it. Karens,
They're everywhere.
ninjas, it's just a new state of the world, man. I mean, I got a little pro black poetry to share, but I mean, the Karens of the world, I don't know. You had some Karen stuff to talk about? Oh, we had another experience. Wow.
What is
Okay,
that?
all right. You just did one, I'll do one. Okay, so here we go. So, right. We were at another place by the water, not in Delaware, but we were by the water, and I don't even want to get too excited about this. Okay, guys, listen. It was the honeymoon. It was supposed to be super lit. I got everything. Everything was set up by the best friend. Like, yo, get him the nice everything. And we got there, and it was like spider webs on the ceiling. And I was like, hold on. What? Wait. What's going on here? What's going on here? It's COVID. Like, yo, everything should be clean. If you're gonna be a hotel, restaurant, like anything, and of course, this is before phase 1 and 2 and all of that, and everything was on lockdown. So if you're gonna be anything open, bro, like at the very least, it needs to be clean. And so it was just kind of like a sick situation. Like, what spider webs is about. That means that you definitely haven't cleaned this up in a while. Like, haven't nobody dusted in a while. Like, I know spiders can build a house in 30 minutes. I get this. But I'm saying, though, thick layers of dust and spider webs all over the ceiling, all above the bed. Like, let's get into the Karen part of this situation. So I called downstairs and I'm like, So you remember when I was like, "Can I get an upgrade?" And you was like, "No, I ain't say that. I ain't say that because ninjas be trying to get upgrades." But listen, it was COVID. Okay, let's get back to it. So first, Karen said no upgrades. Then I said, "Karen, can I speak to your manager?" No, I can't speak to your manager. Then I saw it was spider webs on the ceiling. So in my head, I was thinking, "You remember when I said?" But what I really said was, "Hey, you had to put on the white voice too, because I already knew I was dealing with Karen. I was like, "Hey, Karen, would you mind if we got another room because there's spider webs all over the ceiling above the bed?" And you know what Karen said? Nah. You know what Karen said? Karen said, "I'ma send somebody up to your room to clean it up." I was like, Karen, can I speak to your manager, the one you told me that did not exist? Can I get on her voicemail? Oh yeah. Transfer me to that joint. I left a message, then I called back like, "Yeah, Karen, can I get some Clorox wipes, Karen? Can I get some Clorox wipes? This is pretty absurd that I'm gonna have to clean my own hotel room." No, we send a maintenance up there. Oh, so you telling me during COVID? Okay, during COVID, during my honeymoon, that you gonna send a third party person into my room, Karen? This is what you're telling me? Yeah, this is the procedure. Wait, that's my voice, not Karen's voice. This bitch, I can't keep up with the voices. I'm ready to slap Karen through the phone, guys, okay? But I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to keep my composure. Knock on the door like 30 minutes later, right? So I ain't gonna talk about homeboy. Call him Luigi. That's not nice. Luigi was at the door.
Wait,
with a broom.
Is that because he was of a certain race or
nationality? Sure. Okay. Yeah. I don't know.
No, that's not nice.
I just wanted to say Luigi because I love Mario. Anyway, okay. I ain't want to get into it. Listen, the older gentleman had a broom.
Oh.
Okay, so I just want everybody to think about this for a moment. So when you get in your hotel room and you lay in the bed and you look up, it's spider webs dangling, not only like dangling on the ceiling, but like all along the wall above the bed also. So the corner, the creases, and above the bed. So this older gentleman was going to take a broom and swipe all the dust and the spider webs basically into the damn bed.
Tell it to the cleaning lady on Monday.
Yeah, this should have like Karen, you're savage. Like, I'm sure there's some resort owner, some pro-white resort, all lives matter. No. White lives matter resort owner who's like, I'm gonna use that tactic because like Karen was really doing her job as far as doing absolutely nothing for the customers in order to resolve this situation. Okay, and I know there's companies who be looking for employees like that. You know what I'm saying? So we not gonna get into that. All I'm saying is it's just really sick. Like, it's just really sick. Like, does anybody think that that's how you supposed to clean up the webs over the bed? Like, Karen had it. Karen just really was like, yeah, that's all I got for you. And I really, like, how would that make you feel? Like, what do you think? Is that because I'm brown?
Under normal circumstances, it would probably be, okay, we're going to move you to this room and then clean your room and you can move back. We'll just move you to a room all together and that'd be nice.
Period.
I'm wondering if it's all the state of the rooms are either as bad as that or worse.
Empty.
And you can't be like, oh, okay, well, we'll just go to the food bar or wherever because it's COVID and it's probably closed.
And they owned the restaurant too that wasn't closed because we end up ordering food that night.
So professionally it should have been, okay, well, we can't give you another room because of what's going on, but we'll treat you to food, or your dinner will be on us. And while you're waiting, like, please come down now, eat and chill. And while you're waiting, we'll clean the whole room spick and span. And then
Do you
can go
work
back.
at the hotel place?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. So this just common sense. Oh, okay. So he didn't even go to school for hospitality, Karen. Karen, did you go to school for hospitality? Because there was absolutely none. Like, that's all I'm saying.
You want some free drinks? We can hook you up all night.
Scratch. Yeah, no. He trying to round up the deck so the deck can make background comment. Listen, like, this, it's just sick. Like, out of common sense, that's what you feel like would have been an acceptable resolution to the problem. And at the same time, if they would have did that, at the very least, I wouldn't have seen this nice older gentleman sweep the dust and spider webs into the bed. At the very least, I wouldn't have even encountered that. No, instead I was stuck. Well, not me. My lovely husband was stuck cleaning the room with daggone Clorox wipes. So they bought up that 100, 200 joint, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of wipes, the thick roll of wipes. Yeah, I had to take those home as a constellation prize. Like, and that was absolutely it. But I just think it's very unfortunate. Like, nobody should be put in that situation. Like, I feel like this COVID, the best thing that COVID has brought out is, like, showing you who the real nasty, dirty people in your life is. Like, washing your hands, basic stuff, washing your hands, hand sanitizer. Like, nobody had that stuff. That was a waste of money. Now everybody buying it up.
Physically and, I guess, personality-wise, dirty people. Because people who...
Personality-wise. You got a dirty personality.
It's the people...
This is why he on there. This is the Oreo perspective right here, y'all. Dirty personality.
It's the people who've been ignoring all the problems. Not just black people. I don't want to get stuck on that. It's the black experience because we're black, but this is people of color in general.
Everybody.
Everyone who's been saying this is a problem, whatever they're talking about, whether it's justice or representation, media, all this stuff. These are things that are problems, and then everyone else, the white people, who go, no, this is fine. Or, I don't see that, or I don't see color, or they just don't want to have the conversation.
Oh, don't want to deal with it, yeah.
All of that, you're a part of the problem, not because you're racist, because I'm not saying you are, but because you don't want to have the conversation. Yeah. Or because you don't...
You're ignoring it.
You're ignoring the shit out of it.
It's the not see.
Just not see.
I just had to make a way to bring it in. Like, I can't.
It is a reference to a movie.
I am sick.
And
These are
all we
inside
do
jokes.
is inside jokes and references, and you're gonna have to get used to it. I'm sorry.
I want you to get down with the team. Y'all on the team now. You on the podcast. You on the team, man. This is the unknown unknowns.
You can't see.
It's everything. We lit over here, man. Listen, listen.
You can't see Husbando's face over there, but I know he's cheesing.
Like, for real. Listen, it's wild out here. I'm telling y'all. This is the black experience, like you said, man. Everything black, man. This is what we really going through. Like, that's it. Like, this is real life out here. Somebody got to talk about it because it's not fair. I don't care what your color is, bro. Everybody deserve to be treated with respect and dignity until they be on some wild stuff. Then I don't know after that. Then you can make that up because I'm not preaching about that. But, like, come on, bro. At the very least, this is America. So if I put that coin up, bro, you better treat me like I put that coin up. That's it. That's it in America. I thought at the very least that's what I could get.
At the very least, on paper, we're all supposed to be equal. and that's on paper.
Ask Dave Smith.
On paper.
Hey, shout out to Dave Smith.
You know who he is.
Shout out to Dave Smith.
On paper, that's worth fighting for. That's worth dying for. That is the experiment that's been around for several hundred years now, is the American experience. And it hasn't worked to this level anywhere else in the world. Probably. I'm not a historian expert, so probably. And we all still get along, generally. We're the great melting pot, for better or for worse. So let's act like it. And Yeah, what we at 40-something minutes. All right.
Yeah, man. Listen, I just wanted to share the little poem. So go ahead. That's all you had to say.
Your poem, and then I want to close on a positive story.
All right, cool. All right, y'all. So, we was already getting into the deep part. So let me just, just to let y'all know, Mobius, he do music. He got a little band and everything like that. Oreos, check him out on Instagram. It's like, no. Anyway, just playing, y'all. Don't Google him. I don't even know who those people are. Okay. But I did want to share something. I do poetry. I do music myself. And, I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit more about it, you know what I'm saying, eventually. But for right now, I just wanted to share just some thoughts, man, that's been on my mind, and especially after the little trip, because that was very recent. So this is like my first time really sharing it, so I hope y'all bang with it. Pretty much untitled, that's up to you to come up with in your spirit. Here we go. Oh, how much blood floods these streets, or perhaps the ground on earth, or the world altogether, fueled by our ... hatred, fear, jealousy, and well, sometimes by sheer brown skin. Why live? Why fight for a life when there is no value here for me? Let them tell it, simply because I do not belong. How much blood must brown skin shed, Stone Mountain, until you are satisfied? My brass burned caramel feet shall try. Oh, Pulaski, oh, Tennessee, and the alleged land of the free. Tell me just how much. And that's it. That's it. That's it. I hope y'all bang with that.
Squawk.
I mean, it come from the heart. It come from the heart. It's real out here.
So untitled.
Yeah. I mean, or how much. But,
Yeah. When in doubt. All right. Closing with this one story. I've been since the whole George Floyd protests have been going on in my particular city. I somehow got snatched up as a protest medic and was mainly doing logistical stuff.
Shout out to the medics.
But before that, that Monday, I went into the city, saw some things. Was mainly there just to take photos. I was an observer, just here's what I saw, have a conversation about it. So Tuesday I went back and I bought some waters and I was just handing them out. And this guy was a white guy. He was standing on the curb and just kind of, he'd been out there for a while, so he was kind of sweaty. And I gave him a bottle of water, and he was like, "Hey, man, what's your name?" So we talked for a little bit. And this, "Hey, where are you from?" And I'm over here, local. I've been here my whole life. And this guy was like, "Yeah, I'm American too now, but I'm originally from Canada." And shout out to Canada because I know a couple of the homies up there.
Shout out A.
This guy, it was almost like running into an old friend.
Wow.
Because we talked for like an hour and a half. I gave him a bottle of water and we just hit it off. And
this guy talks to strangers.
I mean, we lost that art, just to have a conversation, to agree about certain things, to disagree about certain things. We've lost that conversation skill, and that's not even just here in the U.S. It's everywhere. So we talked for like an hour and a half, and he told me the perspective as a white guy living in the U.S. as someone who went to who was Canadian, and the perspective of black people versus the government and the cops here and in Canada, and I told him my perspective being in Oreo, and how our experiences just vary wildly from state to state, county to county, and just around the corner depending on where you live. And how our relationship is with the police. And he in turn told me about the relationship about the indigenous population of Canada, and how, you know, their people have been getting their asses kicked over the pipeline and just over land rights and resources, and then government lies. Same with the Native Americans here. And it was, you know, he said his family was military, so they served and did a lot of this stuff. But, you know, it wasn't, nobody was it was just a conversation. Nobody was looking for any information to then use somewhere else, or oh, you said this, I got you because XYZ. He was just telling me about Canada and about his experiences and what he saw now that he became an American.
Wow.
You know, and that was really nice. And this was like I never met. And he went off and hung out with his friends after that, and several hours later I became a protest medic. But that experience made me stick around, because I got there, I was there for an hour or two, and then I was, all right, you know, half bottle of water left, pack of waters, all right, I guess I'll just go home. No, I was hoping to see more like that, and to a degree I did, but it was mainly just people protesting peacefully, which was also nice to see. And
not what they always be showing on TV.
Yeah.
Like, there is no such thing as a peaceful protest. Like, we can't go out there and have self-control. Agenda.
There's a lot going on with that. From the videos of cops and other adversarial people placing bricks and debris for violent protesters to throw. Placing them. There's videos
setting it up.
People clad in all black, Antifa probably.
Oh, excuse me. I just got off work. I'm the police. I just had a couple bricks in the trunk, and I'm just gonna place those here.
It's not even that. It's people in unmarked cars, marked cars, in uniform, just placing bricks. Why are you doing this? You know what's gonna happen because they told us to. Don't you think
who is
you should
they?
command whoever their command is? Don't you think you should ask questions? Don't you think you should take this and throw it in a dump truck and do something else with it? Why would you pre-stage them near all these stores? It's different to have them in downtown somewhere, that like Detroit or something, where it's all just a mess. Okay, maybe I don't live there, so I don't know. But
right, shout out to Detroit. Like, you a wild one.
From my understanding of RoboCop movies,
so white,
Detroit's
just
always
openly
awful.
offensive.
So going off my knowledge of Detroit and iRobot and RoboCop and all these movies that portray Detroit,
the worst.
The worst
just
place,
like the Russian people.
Awful.
America is fucked.
At least I'm pointing out that disclaimer. This is a whole city that's always seemed to be just a horrible place.
Up. I watched 8 Mile. It looks terrible. Terrible.
All these movies are dated, except iRobot, which is also now dated. But
and that was in the future.
But it had a hood. It had a ghetto. Old Detroit, which no longer had the water or whatever.
I'm depressed. What's the point? It's nice to talk to white people about
stuff. Well, okay, so get back to that.
Like,
look, so there, it'd be different if they took all that stuff and staged it there. There's nothing to destroy. There's nothing there.
Okay, so they setting shit up. He confirmed that there's wild conspiracy shit going on in his country too. Basically, like we got wild fucked up shit going on.
Similar there.
You saw shit happening, and it was disturbing. I mean,
which would then be blamed.
We're not gonna get into that. I was about to say we forgot about the video. What happened with the?
Well, this just several videos on YouTube. It's people.
No, I'm talking about
context.
The video, you was asked about submitting.
The Washington Post. Shit. The Post. Editing.
The video, the video.
The Post.
You were telling me, you had some content and you were very concerned about
Well, that was
the content. And so was
I
that
sent it
the
in.
bricks or was that something else?
No, this was tear gas because the cops said they didn't, and the president said that they didn't use tear gas, but they did.
And I got proof that they was using tear gas.
I sent it in. I didn't hear anything back from them, and none of us are dead, so cool. But
that's cool. Hopefully they.
I wanted
they're gonna do what they do.
I still want to end on that positive note, but it was just like there's more at stake than just angry black people and what's the word I'm looking for? Indifferent other population, like people that aren't black, not limited to white people, but just people indifferent.
Period. Yeah.
Including some black people. But there's the China play, which whatever's going on in Hong Kong, and their rights being stripped away, people could use that opportunity to come and get visas here to then cause internal issues, which I don't want to ignore. The Russia play, because they interfered in our elections and could be stirring the pot for race war here. Just white supremacists in general, Antifa, and cops, which is true, this part's true, cops causing issues, staging the bricks, saying things are happening when they're not, turning off their body cam, cops making moves to have an excuse to beat the shit out of protesters. All of these things, the cops we know is happening for sure. Antifa's another... What?
I mean, it's all been happening. The manipulation of power, control.
But now it's all happening at the same time, and so I don't want people to get distracted from any one thing. The China play, not confirmed yet. I'm not intelligence or anything.
Okay, but the Trump martial law play, all of this shit, the COVID play,
all that,
like it's all the distraction from. I feel like really knowing who you are and what your true purpose is.
To eat cookies and to talk
this
to Canadians.
Wild as shit. To stay black and die, if you let my mom tell it. And if you listening and you brown or you tan, it can easily be applied to your scenario.
Hey, look.
Stay tan and die. And if you're Asian, stay tan, stay yellow. And my bad. Shout out to the tan yellow Asians. Because Indians are technically Asian. We're not gonna get into that. To stay respectful to your elders and die. Like that's I was just giving a shout out to Sauce.
Positive notes. People of color. Here's a question. How many continents are there?
You wild as shit.
Wait, it depends on who you ask.
Wow.
Because
the answer, unknown unknowns.
Unknown unknowns. Well, it's
unknown unknowns, but it's the point though. What did you say? All this subjective and relative. Are these alternative facts? What are you talking about right now, Mobius?
Yes. Question mark. Scientists will say X.
1,0,0,1.
If you ask us, there are 7. If you ask the Russians, you're gonna say something else. If you ask the Europeans, they're gonna say something else.
Like, you never been to Russia. How do you know these Russian facts? Shout out to anybody in Russia. If you listen to this podcast, we would love to have you on to ask random stupid questions in the background so you could clarify all Russian stereotypes.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we love y'all.
Right. We got haters in the background. Shout out to Dutch. Shout out to shout out to you guys for listening, for joining, for giving us an hour, 45 minutes, 10 minutes of your life. I don't know if you cut this off halfway through or whatever, but thank you. Thank you for banging with us.
Peace.
Peace out, unknown unknowns. Oh yeah, how they gonna reach out to us? Duh. You know we set up the IG, y'all. So look. If you want to hit us up, yeah, whatever. If you want to hit us up, you could definitely hit us on the IG. Throw out some topics, or what I'm saying, whatever. You can answer his question about how many continents there are. Our Instagram is unknown.unknowns on Instagram. But guess what? You're gonna replace the O's with zeros and there's only one S, and you're going to replace it with a 5. So you got this. Unknown.unknowns. Hit us up anytime. Thanks for joining, man. Share it with your cousin, mother, brother, sister. You know what we here for. Everything black, man. Enjoy your experience. All lives invited. We lit.
Do a barrel roll.